The scorching Texas sun beat down mercilessly on the abandoned stockyards on the outskirts of Fort Worth, as wildlife photographer Jake Martinez adjusted his camera lens for what he hoped would be the perfect shot of urban decay. His partner, marine biologist Dr. Sarah Thompson, was documenting invasive plant species that had taken over the old cattle pens, while their guide, local historian Tom Bradley, shared stories about the area's legendary past. This place used to process over 1 million head of cattle a year, Tom explained, wiping sweat from his weathered brow. Been abandoned for nearly 15 years now, ever since the big corporate operations moved everything out of state. Jake was focused on capturing the contrast between rusted metal and vibrant wildflowers when something in his viewfinder made him freeze. Through the telephoto lens, he could see movement in what appeared to be the largest, most remote pen at the far end of the complex. "Guys," Jake called out, lowering his camera with a frown. "There's something alive back there." Dr. Thompson looked up from her plant samples, shielding her eyes against the glare. "Probably just feral cats or dogs. These abandoned places always attract strays." But Jake was already walking toward the distant pen, his photographer's instincts telling him this was something unusual. As they approached the massive enclosure, what they discovered defied all logical explanation. Standing in the center of the pen was the largest bull any of them had ever seen. The magnificent Black Brahma stood nearly 7 feet tall at the shoulder and appeared to weigh well over 3,000 pounds. His coal-black hide gleamed despite the dust and neglect surrounding him, and his massive horns caught the sunlight like polished obsidian. "That's impossible," Tom whispered, his voice filled with awe and confusion. "There hasn't been livestock here for over a decade. How could a bull this size survive alone for so long?" The bull, who would later be named Ranger by the local media, stood perfectly still as the three humans approached his pen. His dark, intelligent eyes watched them carefully, but he showed no signs of fear or aggression. Instead, there was an almost regal bearing to his posture, as if he were a king surveying his domain. "Jake, you need to get photos of this," Dr. Thompson said urgently, her scientific mind already racing with questions. "This animal is extraordinary. Look at his muscle definition, his coat condition. He should be malnourished and wild after years of abandonment, but he looks like he's been receiving professional care." Jake began snapping photos rapidly, capturing every angle of the magnificent creature. Through his lens, he could see details that made the mystery even deeper. Ranger's hooves were perfectly trimmed, his coat showed signs of recent grooming, and despite the abandoned state of the facility, the bull's pen contained fresh water and what appeared to be high-quality feed. "Someone's been taking care of him," Tom observed, climbing carefully onto the fence for a better view. "But who? And why keep it secret?" As if responding to their presence, Ranger slowly approached the fence where the three adventurers stood. Up close, his size was even more intimidating, but his demeanor remained calm and almost curious. Dr. Thompson noted that his breathing was steady and healthy, and his eyes were clear and bright. "I've studied animal behavior for 15 years, Dr. Thompson said quietly, "and I've never seen a bull this large exhibit such calm behavior around strangers. Most cattle this size, especially bulls, would be either aggressive or fearful of human contact." Jake continued photographing, while Tom began examining the pen more closely. What he found only deepened the mystery. Hidden beneath years of overgrown vegetation were the remnants of what appeared to be a sophisticated feeding and watering system. Solar panels, barely visible under layers of dust and rust, suggested that someone had invested significant resources in maintaining this remote location. "This isn't just an abandoned pen," Tom realized. "This is a custom-built facility designed specifically for one animal. Someone spent serious money creating a home for this bull." As the afternoon wore on, the three adventurers found themselves captivated by Ranger's presence. The bull seemed almost intelligent in his interactions, approaching when they called softly to him and maintaining eye contact in a way that felt almost human. "We need to report this, Doctor," Thompson said finally. "This animal needs proper veterinary care and evaluation. Whatever's going on here, Ranger deserves better than being hidden away like some kind of secret." Jake had shot nearly 200 photos by the time they decided to leave. each image capturing a different aspect of Ranger's remarkable presence. As they walked back toward their vehicle, all three found themselves looking back at the pen where the giant bull continued to watch their departure. What none of them realized as they drove away was that their discovery would soon uncover a mystery that stretched back decades, involving illegal breeding experiments, corporate cover-ups, and a secret that would shock the entire veterinary community. Within 24 hours of Jake's photos being posted on social media, Ranger had become an internet sensation. The images of the massive Black Brahma bull standing majestically in his hidden pen spread across platforms faster than anyone anticipated, with animal lovers, veterinarians, and mystery enthusiasts all demanding answers about the giant bull's origins. Dr. Michael Rodriguez, Fort Worth's leading large animal veterinarian, received over 50 calls that Tuesday morning, all asking the same question. Is that bull real? I've been practicing veterinary medicine for 23 years, Dr. Rodriguez told the small crowd of reporters and officials that had gathered at his clinic. I've never seen a Brahma bull of that size. If those photos are authentic, we're looking at an animal that defies normal breeding standards. Fort Worth Animal Control, led by Director Patricia Hayes, had organized an emergency expedition to the abandoned stockyards. Joining her were Dr. Rodriguez, Jake Martinez with his camera equipment, and Dr. Thompson, whose initial discovery had sparked the investigation. We need to approach this carefully, Director Hayes explained as their convoy pulled up to the stockyards entrance. If this bull has been living wild for years, he could be dangerous despite his apparent calm demeanor in the photos. But as they approached Ranger's pen, it became clear that this was no ordinary situation. The bull stood exactly where Jake had photographed him the day before, as if he had been waiting for their return. More remarkably, his pen had been cleaned overnight, fresh feed had been provided, and the water system was running perfectly. If this incredible mystery has captured your attention as much as it has ours, we'd be so grateful if you could hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us investigate and share amazing stories like Ranger's. Now let's see what Dr. Rodriguez discovered when he examined this magnificent bull. Someone was here last night, Dr. Rodriguez observed, examining the fresh straw and grain. This animal is receiving active care from someone who doesn't want to be identified. Dr. Rodriguez approached Ranger's pen with the caution of an experienced veterinarian, but the bull's reaction was unlike anything he had encountered in his career. Instead of showing typical signs of stress or aggression, Ranger approached the fence and lowered his massive head, as if inviting examination. "This is extraordinary, Doctor," Rodriguez murmured, beginning his preliminary assessment. "His body condition is perfect. His eyes are clear, his coat is pristine, and his breathing is optimal. This bull is receiving better care than most show animals." As Dr. Rodriguez conducted his examination, he began noticing details that raised even more questions. Ranger's ears had been professionally tagged with high-quality identification markers that showed signs of recent veterinary care. His hooves were perfectly trimmed and treated with professional-grade hoof conditioner. The shocking discovery came when Dr. Rodriguez examined Ranger more closely. Hidden beneath the bull's thick neck hair, barely visible unless examined carefully, was a small surgical scar indicating recent medical intervention and something much more alarming. "Director Hayes," Dr. Rodriguez called out, his voice tight with concern. "You need to see this immediately." Using a portable ultrasound device, Dr. Rodriguez had discovered what appeared to be a foreign object implanted beneath Ranger's skin. The object was roughly the size of a golf ball, perfectly positioned near the bull's shoulder, and appeared to be made of some kind of advanced material that showed up clearly on the imaging equipment. "Someone has surgically implanted something in this animal," Dr. Rodriguez explained to the gathered officials, his voice filled with disbelief. "This is precision veterinary work involving technology I've never seen before." Director Hayes immediately called for federal backup and began treating the site as a potential crime scene. If someone's conducting unauthorized medical experiments on livestock, we could be looking at anything from illegal research to bioterrorism. Jake continued documenting everything with his camera, but his focus had shifted from wildlife photography to investigative journalism. "Dr. Rodriguez, what could that implant be?" It could be anything from a tracking device to some kind of experimental medical technology, Dr. Rodriguez replied carefully. But the sophistication of the surgical placement suggests this was done by someone with access to advanced veterinary facilities and equipment. As the investigation continued, more mysteries emerged. Hidden throughout Ranger's pen, the team discovered sophisticated monitoring equipment that had been disguised to look like ordinary ranch fixtures. Sensors embedded in fence posts, cameras hidden in artificial rocks, and what appeared to be automated data collection systems suggested that Ranger had been under constant scientific observation. This isn't just an abandoned animal, Dr. Thompson realized as she examined the hidden technology. This is a research station. Someone's been conducting a long-term study using Ranger as the primary subject. The most shocking discovery came when federal agents arrived and conducted a more thorough sweep of the area. Using specialized detection equipment, they found multiple underground cables leading away from Ranger's pen toward a camouflage facility nearly a mile away. We're following a sophisticated network of surveillance and monitoring equipment, explained Agent Maria Santos, who had been assigned to lead the federal investigation. Whoever's been studying this bull has invested millions of dollars in creating an advanced research operation. The implant discovery had transformed the investigation from a simple animal welfare case into a potential national security issue. Dr. Rodriguez's preliminary scans suggested that the device was actively transmitting data, though to whom and for what purpose remained unknown. The surgical precision required to place this implant without harming the animal indicates we're dealing with veterinary experts at the highest level, Dr. Rodriguez told Agent Santos. This isn't black market research. This is cutting-edge medical technology being used in an unauthorized setting. As the day progressed, surveillance teams confirmed that Ranger's caretakers were still active in the area. Motion sensors detected human activity near the pen during early morning hours, and fresh evidence suggested that the bull's care routine was continuing despite the increased official attention. Whoever's been caring for Ranger isn't going to abandon him now, Agent Santos observed. They've invested too much time and resources to walk away because of our investigation. That evening, as federal agents established 24-hour surveillance of the site, Dr. Rodriguez remained puzzled by one crucial detail. Despite the mysterious implant and sophisticated monitoring, Ranger showed no signs of distress or illness related to the device. Whatever they've put inside him, Dr. Rodriguez told Agent Santos, it doesn't appear to be harming him. In fact, his health markers are the best I've ever seen in a bull of his age and size. Federal agents struck at 3 a.m. on Friday morning, following surveillance teams to a sophisticated research facility hidden 15 miles from the stockyards. What they discovered inside revolutionized their understanding of Ranger's situation and exposed one of the most advanced veterinary research programs ever conducted. Dr. Elizabeth Harper, former head of large animal research at Texas A&M University, was arrested along with her team of 12 veterinary specialists as they monitored Ranger's vital signs from their high-tech command center. The facility contained equipment worth over $50 million, including surgical suites that rivaled the best human hospitals. Dr. Harper has been conducting unauthorized research on large animals for the past 8 years, Agent Santos explained during the initial briefing. But what we've discovered challenges everything we thought we knew about veterinary medicine. The interrogation of Dr. Harper revealed a story that shocked even experienced federal investigators. Ranger wasn't a victim of illegal experimentation. He was the beneficiary of the most advanced veterinary care ever provided to a large animal, and the research conducted on him had already saved thousands of animal lives worldwide. Ranger was dying when we found him 8 years ago, Dr. Harper explained during her voluntary confession. He was born with a complex array of genetic disorders that should have killed him within months. Every procedure we've performed has been to save his life and develop treatments that could help other animals with similar conditions. The implant that Dr. Rodriguez had discovered was revealed to be a revolutionary biomonitoring device that continuously tracked Ranger's vital signs, hormone levels, and neurological activity. The data it collected had led to breakthrough treatments for large animal diseases that were previously considered incurable. The device isn't harming Ranger, Dr. Harper continued. It's monitoring his health 24/7 and automatically adjusting his care based on real-time biometric data. It's the most advanced veterinary monitoring system ever created. Agent Santos and her team found themselves in an unprecedented situation as they reviewed Dr. Harper's research files. The work conducted using Ranger as a patient had produced over 200 peer-reviewed scientific papers, 47 new veterinary procedures, and treatments that had been implemented in animal hospitals across 6 continents. Dr. Harper's research has advanced large animal medicine by decades, admitted Dr. Rodriguez after reviewing the classified files. Techniques that we thought were years away from development have been proven effective through Ranger's treatment history. The federal investigation revealed that Dr. Harper's team had been providing revolutionary medical care to Ranger while developing treatments that were immediately shared with the global veterinary community. The research had been funded by a consortium of anonymous donors who believed in advancing animal health care without regard for profit. Every breakthrough we achieved with Ranger was published in scientific journals within months, Dr. Harper explained. We never attempted to patent our discoveries or profit from the research. Our only goal was advancing veterinary science while providing Ranger with the best possible care. The most shocking revelation came when federal investigators discovered the true scope of Dr. Harper's work. Ranger had undergone 23 different surgical procedures over 8 years, each one pioneering new techniques that were now standard practice in veterinary hospitals worldwide. Ranger has survived conditions that would have killed any other animal, Dr. Harper said, showing federal agents detailed medical records: cardiac surgery, cancer treatment, orthopedic reconstruction, neurological procedures. Each intervention was necessary to save his life, and each one led to treatments that are now saving other animals. Video footage from Dr. Harper's facility showed Ranger's remarkable cooperation with his medical care. The massive bull approached surgical teams willingly, positioned himself for procedures without restraint, and displayed behavior that suggested he understood the beneficial nature of his treatments. Ranger knows we're helping him, Dr. Harper explained to Agent Santos. His intelligence and cooperation have been crucial to our success. He's been a willing partner in research that has revolutionized how we treat large animal diseases. The economic implications of Dr. Harper's research were staggering. The treatments developed through Ranger's care had generated over $300 million in veterinary revenue worldwide, while saving an estimated 30,000 animal lives. Yet Dr. Harper had never attempted to profit from her innovations. Dr. Harper could have become one of the wealthiest veterinarians in history, Agent Santos noted in her report. Instead, she chose to share every discovery freely with the veterinary community. Her only compensation has been knowing that her work saves animal lives. As news of the investigation leaked to the media, public opinion shifted dramatically in Dr. Harper's favor. Animal rights organizations that had initially demanded her prosecution found themselves supporting her work once they understood its life-saving implications. This isn't animal exploitation, explained Dr. Sarah Chen, director of the National Animal Welfare Coalition. This is exactly the kind of research that advances animal care while maintaining the highest ethical standards. The Fort Worth community rallied around Ranger and Dr. Harper's work, with local businesses and animal lovers contributing funds to help legitimize and expand the research program. Texas A&M University, embarrassed by their earlier rejection of Dr. Harper's work, offered to provide official oversight in support for her continued research. Ranger has become a symbol of what's possible when innovative veterinary science is combined with genuine care for animal welfare, Dr. Rodriguez told the gathered media. His story proves that sometimes the most important breakthroughs happen when we refuse to accept that certain conditions are untreatable. As the federal investigation concluded, it became clear that no criminal laws had been broken. Dr. Harper's work, while unconventional in its secrecy, had been conducted with the highest ethical standards and had produced results that benefited animals worldwide. Agent Santos found herself recommending that Dr. Harper's research be officially sanctioned and supported rather than prosecuted. This case represents the most significant advancement in veterinary medicine in decades, she concluded in her final report. 6 months after the federal investigation concluded, the abandoned Fort Worth Stockyards had been transformed into the Ranger Institute for Advanced Large Animal Medicine, a world-class research facility that attracted veterinarians and researchers from around the globe. Dr. Elizabeth Harper, officially reinstated and appointed as the Institute's director, stood before an international audience preparing to reveal the full scope of Ranger's extraordinary medical legacy. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Harper began, addressing the packed auditorium filled with veterinary experts from 23 countries. What I'm about to share represents the most comprehensive large animal medical case study ever documented. Ranger hasn't just survived impossible conditions. He's become the foundation for a revolution in veterinary medicine. The presentation revealed that Ranger's medical history read like a textbook of veterinary innovation. Born with a lethal combination of heart defects, bone disorders, and genetic abnormalities, he had undergone procedures that established new standards for large animal surgery, cancer treatment, and trauma care. The cardiac surgery we performed when Ranger was 18 months old has since been used to save over 400 large animals worldwide, Dr. Harper explained, showing surgical footage that demonstrated techniques never before attempted on cattle. The joint replacement procedures developed for his hip dysplasia are now standard practice in equine medicine. Jake Martinez, whose accidental discovery had started this extraordinary journey, documented every moment of the presentation. His photographs of Ranger had evolved from simple wildlife shots into a comprehensive visual record of veterinary breakthrough, and he now served as the Institute's official photographer and archivist. Looking back at those first photos I took, Jake reflected during a break in the presentation, I never imagined I was photographing the most medically significant animal in veterinary history. Ranger has literally rewritten the textbooks on large animal medicine. The Institute's success had attracted partnerships with major universities, pharmaceutical companies, and technology firms interested in developing advanced veterinary equipment. Ranger had become the primary test subject for revolutionary diagnostic tools, robotic surgical assistance, and monitoring systems that promise to further advance animal healthcare. Dr. Rodriguez, now the Institute's chief veterinarian, marveled at how Ranger's case had transformed treatment success rates across the veterinary community. Conditions that were death sentences just 2 years ago are now routinely treatable using protocols developed through Ranger's care, he explained to visiting researchers. We're seeing survival rates that would have been impossible before his medical innovations. The most remarkable aspect of Ranger's legacy was his continued role as both patient and teacher. Now weighing an impressive 3,700 pounds and showing no signs of the conditions that had once threatened his life, he participated daily in educational programs that allowed veterinary students from around the world to study his case firsthand. Ranger seems to understand his importance to veterinary education, observed Dr. Sarah Kim, a recent fellowship recipient who had come to study the Institute's innovative teaching methods. He approaches each examination and demonstration as if he knows he's contributing to the advancement of animal medicine. The economic impact of Ranger's medical innovations had exceeded all projections. The treatments developed through his care had generated over $600 million in veterinary revenue worldwide, while saving an estimated 75,000 animal lives. The Institute operated entirely on research grants and donations, ensuring that life-saving treatments remained accessible to veterinarians regardless of economic circumstances. Ranger's greatest contribution isn't just the treatments we developed, Dr. Harper explained during the presentation's conclusion. It's the proof that innovation and compassion can coexist to advance veterinary science in ways that benefit animals worldwide. International recognition of Ranger's contributions continued to grow. The World Veterinary Association had established the Ranger Award for Innovation in Large Animal Medicine, and his case history was now required study material in veterinary schools across 4 continents. The biomonitoring implant that had initially sparked federal concern had proven to be the key to Ranger's ongoing success. The device continuously tracked his health parameters and automatically adjusted his care protocols, ensuring optimal treatment outcomes while providing researchers with unprecedented data about large animal physiology. The monitoring technology developed for Ranger has been adapted for use in zoo animals, wildlife conservation programs, and high-value breeding operations, Dr. Harper explained to the international audience. His case has established new standards for precision veterinary medicine. As Ranger approached his 16th birthday, his health remained remarkably stable despite the complex genetic conditions that had once made survival impossible. The innovative treatments that had saved his life continued to be refined and improved, ensuring that future generations of animals would benefit from the medical breakthroughs his case had inspired. The Institute's visitor center displayed Ranger's remarkable journey through interactive exhibits that demonstrated how each of his health challenges had led to revolutionary treatments. Children and adults alike marveled at the story of the bull, whose medical needs had transformed an entire field of science. Dr. Harper stood at the viewing platform overlooking Ranger's state-of-the-art habitat, watching as the magnificent bull moved gracefully through his environment. The abandoned pen where Jake had first discovered him seemed like ancient history compared to the world-class facility that now showcased his contributions to veterinary medicine. Ranger's story proves that sometimes the most important discoveries emerge from the most unexpected places. Dr. Harper reflected as the international presentation concluded to thunderous applause. He's shown us that with creativity, dedication, and genuine care for animal welfare, we can achieve medical miracles that seemed impossible just a few years ago. As the Texas sun set over the Ranger Institute, the bull who had once been hidden in secrecy now stood as a symbol of hope for animals worldwide. His legacy lived on in every successful surgery performed using his protocols, every life saved through treatments developed during his care, and every veterinary student inspired by his story to push the boundaries of what was possible in animal medicine. Jake Martinez raised his camera one more time, capturing Ranger silhouetted against the evening sky, a living legend whose accidental discovery had revolutionized veterinary science and proven that sometimes the greatest breakthroughs come from the most unlikely beginnings. This remarkable story reminds us that innovation often emerges from the most challenging circumstances, and that dedication to animal welfare, combined with scientific curiosity, can lead to breakthroughs that transform entire fields of medicine and save countless lives. Adventurers discovered giant Black Brahma bull. What the vet found inside shocked everyone.